Tessa here from endometriosiscoaching.com. I am here today to talk to you about a crazy, maybe something that sounds absurd way that I healed my endometriosis. In saying that, maybe you have already experienced the benefits of alternative medicines, and maybe this will come to no surprise as to why I have integrated this into my life, and it's been able to help me immensely heal my endometriosis and live a pain-free life. Now, with that said, I want to get into the benefits. So today I'm going to talk about something that detoxifies the liver and produces glutathione. Now, the reason why those two things are amazing is because endometriosis is believed to be caused by an overgrowth of estrogen. Now, we get estrogen from everything. I've had doctors tell me and naturopathic medicine practitioners tell me that plastic can be absorbed from your drinking water, from the things that you put on your skin, from environment. There is so many ways that we could have an estrogen buildup in our bodies. Now, again, the reason why this treatment is so amazing and why we are doing this talk today is because this has helped me with my journey, and I now coach women into integrating a different lifestyle as well as this exact tool, and we've seen amazing results both in my life and other women's lives through this exact step-by-step system. So without further ado, I would love to tell you my story and then what exactly I do on a daily basis that helps me thrive with endometriosis. So here we go. My name is Chessa, and I got diagnosed with endometriosis many years ago. It all started when I was 11 years old, and I was just a little girl and in so much pain. Every time my cycle would come, I'd be crying to my mom. I just thought it was normal to be taking insane amounts of Midol, to be not being able to participate in sports, and just have debilitating period cramps. I went to the doctor so many times, and he really explained that it's just part of being a woman. I don't know if you can relate to that. Fast forward a bunch of years, I was put on a birth control, hormonal birth control called Depo-Provera. I took that for 7 years. So it's an injection, and I stopped completely having my cycle. Now, with that said, I didn't mind not having my cycle. I don't know if you can relate to that. I was in so much pain every time my period would come. I didn't want to have my period. I thought that that was normal. Pause, newsflash. It is not normal to have pain on your period. So, with that said, I was still just happy as could be not having my period. Well, the doctors ended up telling me that you can't take this birth control excessively for that amount of years. There were some warnings for developing women that this wouldn't be wise in your reproductive years to be taking that birth control for that long. So I switched to another hormonal birth control. It was a IUD. So some people believe that, oh great, you switched to an IUD and then you remove those hormones, but not all IUDs are created equally. So I ended up switching to a hormonal IUD, and again, it stopped me from having my cycle, and I was fine and not experiencing my endometriosis pain. So fast forward again a couple more years, and I really feel that this is what you're going to be able to relate to. I didn't want to be on hormones anymore in my life. I had reached a point that I needed to get my IUD taken out, that I didn't really want to be on hormones, and I wanted to live a clean and healthy, vibrant lifestyle. Well, as soon as I took out my IUD, I had debilitating, life-changing pain that I had always had and just masked the symptoms of. So the doctor's cure for endometriosis was in fact a mask that just stopped me from having my periods all these years and never really dealt with the underlying problem. So with that said, it's always great to have a doctor, but it's always great that when you have a knowing deep down within that you follow it for those alternatives for any disease, for any business, for any lifestyle change in life, right? Always follow your intuition. So I got off my IUD, started having this debilitating pain, and started seeking help. I was missing work. I couldn't show up for my family, for my relationships. It was like my head did a 360 because I was so emotionally unstable when my period would come. The cramps wouldn't just happen during my period. And, I went to the doctors, and long story short, they gave me 2 options. My options were go and have the invasive surgery where they'll start blasting my ovarian cysts, my different endometriosis where it's hanging out in my uterus, or I can get a hysterectomy. My doctors advised me to get a hysterectomy because it would be easier at the age of 21 at the time to get this hysterectomy and start planning a family much differently than I would have if I would still have all of my feminine parts. So with that said, I was ready. I decided that I was going to have a hysterectomy because that's what was being advised. All the surgeries weren't guaranteed to ever heal endometriosis because it could keep on coming back, and I was scheduled in for a hysterectomy. Now, with that said, something told me inside that this can't be right. How come I am dealing with this immense pain? There's got to be a way to heal it. So I took a big step back, which is why I'm so glad that you are here today, because this is that big step back right now, by you watching this video. And with that said, I took a big step back and I dove back into my roots of natural medicine, research, doctors, articles, and I developed a protocol to heal my endometriosis naturally. And in the present day, I have been several years living without endometriosis, thriving and not experiencing any pain during my cycle or before or after. And that is what I do for a living now, full time, is I help women just like you heal their endometriosis through a strategic improvement plan. We get a lot of people who are skeptical at first of change, and within that 3-month one-on-one coaching program, lives are able to be changed, and that is truly the reward in this. So let's get right into it. I know that this is a webinar talking about the controversial or maybe crazy thing that I have done to heal my endometriosis. So excuse the rain, guys, I can hear it coming, so I know there'll be a little bit of background noise for this video, but I'll try to speak up because I want you to hear what I have done to change it. So firstly, I changed my diet. Don't turn off this video because I did not cut out meat, I didn't become a vegan, and if you are a vegan, you can certainly still benefit from this protocol. Now with that said, I went to Whole Foods. I ended up switching the way I ate, and like many of you know in here, processed foods play an incredible role in how our bodies function. So I took 30 days and I eliminated processed foods and grains. For my body cannot handle the inflammation that comes to it from grains. So again, I'm going into the step-by-steps, what I did to heal my endometriosis, and I also help women daily heal their endometriosis because I realize these things don't always happen overnight, but if you have a coach to help you, support you, and hold your hand, they can be guaranteed to happen because you're taking the action steps to actually set up a foolproof plan that you're not going to fail on, right? That's part of the journey. And if you're more of a do-it-yourselfer, this story that I'm sharing will certainly help you reach your goals of becoming endometriosis free and feeling good in your life. So with that said, the elimination of those processed foods is what I worked on right away implementing. So for 30 days I did that. Now the big thing that this webinar is really about is I started introducing something called coffee enemas. Have you ever heard of coffee enemas? Well, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. The Garrison cancer treatment therapy has been coffee enemas. Now, with that said, that is where I first discovered it. My dad had a long battle with cancer, and he did not choose, unfortunately, to use alternative medicine, but my family did a ton of research and really respected that route, and we were very aware of the benefits of coffee enemas and alternative medicine. With that said, it's been proven to help with cancer treatment, with PMS, and with migraines. So I thought to myself, wow, I wonder if it could help endometriosis. Now, I am not the only one. There are other naturopath doctors, there are other doctors, there are other traditional, conventional therapies that do promote coffee enemas. But for me, I realized that it was something that I wanted to explore. I had been working with a nutritionist. I set myself up with a proper coach to heal my endometriosis. And with that said, I started integrating the coffee enemas on my own. Now, I did a 30-day protocol, which I go into in depth in my training programs. And what I first started with was the whole foods diet. And for the first 5 days of that whole foods diet, I did a coffee enema every day for 5 days. Now, what a coffee enema is something that stimulates, again, your liver and produces glutathione. When our liver is stimulated and functioning the optimal way, it's able to get rid of that excess estrogen and whatever other types of imbalances you may be carrying in your body. And that's why I believe it really plays a huge, tremendous role in endometriosis and the pain associated with it. So with that said, I did the coffee enemas for 5 days. Now, what a coffee enema is you get an enema kit, and I'll link it down below just so that you can see it. You can buy it wherever you want, health food stores, Amazon, etc. And you use organic light roast coffee. There are a lot of healing benefits, and when the coffee is inside of you, that is when it produces that glutathione. So with that said, you make the coffee in a stainless steel pot on the stove, you mix the solution, you use distilled water, you put it into your enema kit, and you calmly, you hang up the enema kit and you lay on your side for about 15 minutes, right? And it's quiet time. You let it stimulate your liver. You relax, right? You let yourself get that healing. And I did this every day for 5 days during the first 5 days of my protocol. And I started already noticing a difference in my pre-cycle cramping. I wasn't really having it. And that for me started happening that quickly. When I first got on my cycle during that first 30-day protocol, I decided that I was going to do 2 coffee enemas on the first day. So I did it on an empty stomach in the morning and then 2 hours after I ate in the evening. And again, it just lessened everything, lessened the pain. I continued to do 1 coffee enema for the rest of the days of my cycle, and by the 4th day, I was like, what is going on? I didn't feel the pain that I had been feeling for the last several years of my lifetime. And for me, that was a life changer. And now, using diet, using coffee enemas, and a couple of other key strategies, I am able to live a life without pain from endometriosis. And I just want to encourage all of you women who have been told that never having children is your outcome, that living with this pain is normal, or that this is just part of being a woman, or debilitating pain is something that you have to deal with every day. It is not. And if you are smart enough to be searching me out, to have found this video, to be looking for other alternatives, I encourage you to just take action, book a support call, start implementing this plan, and yeah, we want to help you. I want to help you live a life without endometriosis and take back your power from this disease. This is something that gets so misdiagnosed. 1 in 10 women have endometriosis, myself included, and it takes an average of 8 doctor's visits to even be diagnosed. We always are able to help women gain a better quality of life, and there's no question about that. And I just encourage you to take bold action towards the results that you want in life. And coffee enemas are definitely an alternative solution to healing your pain, but I would encourage you to integrate that into your lifestyle and let me know how that goes. If you want a one-on-one coach helping you with the process, I am happy to be your guide, support, and a woman that you can confide in. If you are ready to take radical action and free yourself from this debilitating pain, I would love to be your coach, help you along the journey, and give you the support, structure, and strategy that you need to make these changes. So I encourage you to take what you've learned in this video, start applying it, and if you're ready to take radical action right now, then click on the support call link below. It is absolutely free. I'd love to connect with you, help you make a custom plan, custom strategy, and allow you to start making the changes that you need to make to live a life free of endometriosis and the pain, debilitating cramps that come with it. Take care. All the best on your healing journey. Chessa.